What is going on, everyone? My name is Mewtwo Fan Nate, and I am your coach of the New York Noibats. It is Season 2, Week number 6 of the P4G. My opponent this week is Leo, aka 6-Foot Hacks of the Durham Druddigons. And Leo is a cool dude. Make sure you guys go check out his channel. Link will be in the description below. And this man, let me tell you, this man is a threat. He has a very good record this season. I think his only loss is to John, aka Pokemon. So definitely have to fear his battling skills, his draft, everything like that. Now, if you guys don't know how I like to do my team builders, basically what I do is I throw the mons up on the screen for you. So first, you guys can see my draft on the screen there. I have Blastoise, Tapu Bulu, Mega Scizor, Piloswine, Hydreigons, Typhlosion, Licky, Crobat, Mesprit, Raikou, and Hariyama. So, and Leo, he has drafted a very scary team of Mega Aerodactyl, Excelgor, Raichu, Cobalion, Garchomp, Victini, Crocodile, Skuntank, Klefki, Jellicent, and Tangrowth. So, pretty much the first thing that I have on his team is that his team is really fast. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mons above base 100 speed, Victini hitting the 100 speed tier, and then Crocodile is base 92, I believe. So pretty much almost his entire draft is either base 90 and higher. Skuntank is his next fastest mon at like 84. So his draft is insanely fast. It's insanely fast, and a lot of his mons are really good at beating my mons. Like, he can bring Mega Aerodactyl very easily. I know Scizor does beat it, but Aerodactyl still can predict a Scizor coming in and click Fire Fang. So Scizor still doesn't have the best matchup here. I mean, he could bring every single one of his mons, and I can see them putting in work. I think he's going to bring Mega Aerodactyl because it does outspeed my entire team. It also is a very good way of getting rid of my Crobat, which pretty much is a pretty good bring against his team, considering he has things like Tangrowth and Excelgor, and we can get a lot of U-turn going, and it does outspeed the majority of his team. So that's definitely something that I'm expecting him to fear. So pretty much, I can see like Mega Aerodactyl coming. Just, you know, it hits Tapu Bulu with a wing attack. It can hit Mega Scizor with a Fire Fang. If he wants to run like a really bulky one, to like live like a bullet punch, and then Fire Fang me back, he can definitely do that. I don't see him bringing a Selgor at all. If he wants to bring it, then he would probably bring it like a Spikes variant. I don't really see him bringing Raichu at all, unless he wants to bring like a Lightning Rod variant that's like bulky to stop Raikou from really tearing apart his team. Because if you guys look at Raikou's matchup against his team, pretty much like I can run like pretty much just I can hit Thunderbolt on the majority of his team. Like, I can hit Mega Aerodactyl, I can hit like Victini, I can hit Skuntank, I can hit Klefki, I can hit Jellicent, I can run like Hidden Power Ice for Tangrowth. So I have there's a lot of majority of his team that I can hit for either super effective or neutral damage with Raikou. I can potentially clean up late game with that. So that's kind of the hope there for that. So I definitely think he's bringing Klefki, like a Spikes setter with potentially some screens. Definitely see him bringing that. I also think he will bring Cobalion, because Cobalion kind of smacks my team around. Pretty much, I mean, he can just run a Rock Polish set, and then it'll put in some really fine work against me. His Garchomp really does well against me as well. Like, it can smack Tapu Bulu with a Poison Jab, and he's always faster than me. I actually think he will bring like a Scarf variant, because that definitely like it hits my team pretty hard. Like, he can pretty much just run Outrage and hit everything aside from Tapu Bulu for really hard, like for really big damage. So, and another thing that I'm also predicting is a Sunny Day Victini, Z Sunny Day Victini, because I think that puts in a lot of work against me. It means that, like, pretty much my Blastoise, if I do decide to bring it, which you guys can see above that I'm not, can pretty much do nothing with, like, a water-type move, and then I'm kind of going to get smacked around with, like, a Solar Beam or something like that, and I really have, like, no switch-ins to that, because, I mean, he can have coverage for Hydreigon. He hits pretty much everything aside from Typhlosion and Hariyama with, like, Fire move, but then he could just switch it up, and then he runs, like, pretty much like a Psychic move, so his other stab. So there's really nothing I can do to stop a Sunny Day Victini, but I do have plans to kind of get around that, so we'll see in a second. So pretty much the team that I have for you guys today, and here, let me do that, because I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point, and let me get rid of the Mons that I have here. So, alright, so now we're going to go into the to everything here. Now, I didn't spend too much time talking about it, that's great. So, pretty much, this, if you look at Chops right here, and then you look at his team, it's like, wow, this really kind of poops on his team. So, we have Earthquake, because that does really good damage to really everything that's not, like, Tangrowth or Mega Aerodactyl. And then we have the Ice Stab, which pretty much poops on, like, the rest of his team that Earthquake doesn't hit. So, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. I have 56 EVs in Special Defense, so it's unlikely that I will die to one Giga Drain from a Tangrowth. And then I can pretty much just hit it with an Icicle Spear after. And I'm running Icicle Spear over Icicle Crash, because there is a mischance, and if he is Yache Berry, then it'll be significantly reduced. So I'm trying to avoid that by running Icicle Spear, because Icicle Spear does have 100% accuracy, and we can do more damage because we hit multiple times and we'll get over potential Yache Berry. So that's why I have that. Then the next mon that I have is a Choice Scarf Raikou. Hidden Power Ice pretty much for the Garchomp and the Crocodile potentially. I don't really see him bringing Crocodile either. I think if he's fearing Tapu Bulu, then he probably doesn't bring it, because I think the hardest thing that he can hit it with is a Fire Fang, and I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's, like, the hardest thing he can hit me with. I didn't really see anything in its move pool other than that, so I'm gonna bet that, like, unless he wants to run Fire Fang, which Tapu Bulu is pretty bulky, I can live really any one hit and then just go for a Horn Leech back, so I don't expect him to be bringing that against me, unless he wants to try to use it to beat the Mesprit. But there's a good chance that he could just bring like Outrage on Garchomp and still do massive damage to me anyway, or if he wants to just bring like Fire Stab on Victini and do massive damage to me anyway, and he has like a little bit of like Volt Turn going on that he can use, like U-turn on Victini, kind of wear that the Mesprit down and whatnot. So I don't like, what I'm trying to say here is I don't think there's a 100% need to bring Crocodile, but I'm still gonna prep for it anyway, because if he decides to bring like a Moxie version, that's gonna be terrifying. So, but I think if he did bring it, he'd probably bring Intimidate anyway, just because I do have like Mega Scizor and Tapu Bulu is always a threat. So if he wants to like use that to like pivot and whatnot, it's definitely something that he could do. And also I have a Hariyama too that I could potentially bring, so I just don't see him bringing the Crocodile, but you never know. You never know. Pretty much what I did here was I sped crept a Garchomp, and then I just have like coverage moves. I do have 4 wasted EVs here because I'm running Hidden Power Ice, so these 4 don't do anything anywhere, so it's just they're left out. You know, there are only 4 EVs that aren't going to be used. So the next mon that we have is our Ashley, the Mesprit. Now I know you guys see Recycle and you're like, dude, what is that? Z-Recycle booster speed by 2 stages, meaning I will outspeed a Mega Aerodactyl, and then I can smack him with like an Ice Beam. After rocks, it's going to do huge damage. Hopefully he'll come in a couple times with Mega Arrow, and I could just hit Ice Beam, and then just pretty much just nuke it. After I get up to +2, this is actually what I want to use to clean up late game. And if you, pretty much the goal with this is to weaken down his mons just a little bit, to the point where I can like set up a Z recycle and clean up from there. I have the Ice Beam coverage for the Garchomp, for the Tangrowth. I also have it for the Crocodile, for the Mega Arrow. I have Psychic for neutral damage on the Cobalion. I have Shadow Ball for the Jellicent if he decides to bring that. This also, if he does decide to bring like an AV Skuntank, I will have to get rid of that first. Or if I see Skuntank, I'm just gonna have to get rid of it with my chops first. Maybe get some volt switching kind of thing going on with Raikou and whatnot, just to whittle down, and then maybe get like a switch into my my Piloswine, so that way I can easily you know, knock it out. That's the hope with that one. The next mon that I have is the family-friendly Hydreigon, running Flamethrower, Roost, Dark Pulse, and Substitute. Pretty much what I did here was I sped crept a Crocodile, speed creeping a Mesprit, so I have a lot of bulk in here. I think if he wants to bring the Crocodile, he'll probably have to try to hit me with a superpower. If he wants to have like Cobalion, he'll try to hit me with like a close combat. Victini, I actually originally had Roselli Berry, but looking at the rest of my team, I switched it to Chapel. So I mean, pretty much with that, I can take one hit from like Cobalion, like, so I'll take like a close combat, my Chapel Berry will pop, and then I can go for like Flamethrower and do huge damage to it. If the Victini is in front of me and it's running like, I don't know, either Brick Break or Focus Blast, one of those two ones, I will eat one hit, and then I will be able to fire back with like a Dark Pulse, depending on what he has in. The fighting coverage against my team is actually surprisingly pretty good, especially this week when I have a Licky. There's not too many things on my team. Like, I have 2 fighting resistance. I have Tapu Bulu too, which can take fighting hits pretty well, but so I'm not that entirely weak to it, but you know what I'm trying to say here. Like, against this entire team, fighting coverage is pretty good against me. So with that being said, this set does pretty well against this team. I'm hoping to lead off with it, and because if he does bring Klefki, I don't think he has room for Fairy Step. I think he has to bring like Flash Cannon or something like that, because pretty much with that, he would have to be able to take on the Tapu Bulu. So I don't think he runs Fairy coverage against me, especially because I have things like Crobat, I have Typhlosion, I have Mega Scizor. I mean, not that Play Rough would do anything anyway. I have Piloswine, so I just don't. I see him, if he does bring Klefki, then going for the Flash Cannon or Steel move over Fairy move. Kind of run into like a 4 move slot syndrome this week. So the next mon that I actually have is my Licky, the Sloppy. Pretty much just to take on his Klefki. Like, this is made specifically for Klefki, although the EVs do help me take on the Mega Aerodactyl as well. I have Wish, Heal Bell, Brick Break, and Flamethrower because I really expect him to be bringing screens against me. Because if he does get up screens against me, then Piloswine doesn't hit hard enough to like get the knockouts on some of his mons. I can't talk all of a sudden, and I definitely need those screens to be gone. And then I have Flamethrower because a pretty good switch in to the Licky is Cobalion, because I mean, if I'm running like if he sees that I'm going for like wishes and things like that, there's a good chance that I don't have coverage for the Cobalion, because normally what you would have is you would have like normal, like you would have Wish, Heal Bell, Protect, and then like Body Slam is like what you would typically see. So I'm running Brick Break and Flamethrower just so I can break screens and then hit things with Flamethrower. This does get walled pretty much by the Jellicent, but Jellicent can't really do too much to me. I'm pretty bulky, so it's something, you know, that I'll probably have to predict and things like that if he does bring that. Although some people, they just see like Tapu Bulu and then like Hydreigon and they're like, I just can't bring Jellicent because, I mean, like Dark Stab kind of hurts and then Grass Stab kind of hurts. So there's a good chance that he doesn't bring that, but I can definitely see it being brought. And I also have a Raikou too, so I mean, it doesn't have the best matchup against me, but you know, to each their own. You know what, you know, some people have different, you know, sets. You can run like Cobra Berry or something, you know, Live a Hit or Rindo Berry. You know, you don't know what he's gonna bring. He's a very talented, skilled in his prep, so he'll probably throw me off, but we'll see. The next mon that I have, the last mon, is my Twigs, the Crobat. Now, I think this is going to be a great mon this battle. Pretty much, I had Poison Fang over Toxic originally, and a friend of mine, John, he was just like, yeah, dude, don't do that, because it's not guaranteed Toxic, and Toxic hits everything that Poison Fang would hit anyway, and then Garchomp might have, like, Rocky Helmet and, you know, Rough Skin, and you don't want to be taking that damage. So I was like, alright, you're right. As much as I wanted to run like a Heat meme Poison Fang kind of thing, like I wanted to run like the Nuzzle version, like the Toxic version of Nuzzle, but I couldn't argue with him. He had a very good point. So I'm running Defog because Hazards, I need to keep my team healthy, especially my Pilus one. Need to keep that healthy. I think it's pretty much my win con, as strange as it sounds. And I don't have Flying Stab. I have Heat Wave, because it will still do a good amount of damage to the Tangrowth. It still does really good damage to the Cobalion. We can get a 10% lucky burn maybe here and there, although of course I don't ever wish for that. So the 20 EVs in special attack pretty much say that I can like 2-KO a Tangrowth after rocks if it's not like too specially, like, you know, defensive. Roost is pretty much for my longevity. Heat Wave also hits Cobalion pretty well because we do have like, it does have like a weaker special defense stat. So Brave Bird, that's like max attack, does do more, but I will settle for almost a 2-way KO on Cobalion. So and I can always, the defense on this actually lets me live 2 Stone Edges if he's not like Life Orb. So if he's not Life Orb, that's great. So I mean, what's actually really good about that, if he is Life Orb, then I will knock him out with 2 Heat Waves. And that's if if he's Adamant, like, I'll outspeed him. If he's Jolly, then I don't outspeed him. This right here, the speed, I think it actually lets me outspeed a Garchomp that's not Scarfed. I think that's, yeah, these both have enough speed to outspeed Garchomp. This just will outspeed it if it's not Scarfed. This will. So, that's pretty much going to be the team for this week. Make sure you guys go check out Leo's team builder and his battle. Links will be in the description below. I really like Leo. He's a cool dude. I really want to play Overwatch with him sometime, because I know I've seen like little clips of his like playing on like Twitter, and his Lucio is looking pretty fresh, not gonna lie. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the battle. Peace.